Hey people, this is SD Gathers. Some of you know me as Pastor Gathers, Prophet Gathers, Elder Gathers, Minister Gathers. It doesn't matter. I'm not stuck in titles. I recognize that I make the title and the title does not make me. But on today, I want to come and bring something to your attention. Some of you might have seen a post that I put on Facebook the other day, just kind of wanting to bring a solution to some of you who don't have a musician or don't have a consistent musician at your church. And this is not just for pastors, but some of you elders, ministers, evangelists, prophets that go out to go minister. Sometimes we end up having to go minister at a place that don't have a musician. And so we end up just having to have a hand clapping, foot stomping service without any music. Now, I want to say this to you. I believe that music is a very important part in service. Music helps the service to go easier and smoother. Music also enhances the service. And so I know we have a lot of people that say, "Well, we don't need no music." I don't agree with you. I do believe that we need music when it comes down to having a worship service because it does enhance the service and it also makes it easier. Whether it's a praise and worship leader that's singing, they need music, something that's going to be able to enhance the anointing that they have already on their lives. If it's a preacher, and you are a very fiery type preacher, once you get on the mountain, as I call it, once you get on the mountain, it would be nice to have some music to accompany you, and it also makes it easier. Now, if you're a preacher like me, and I want to be very watchful with my words so that no one is offensive. Some of us are more of a teacher. Some of us are more of a preacher. And then there's some of us that are just bona fide preachers. And so when you're in either way, if you are more of a person that hoop and holler, or not even holler, but you're more of a person that hoop, then of course you want that assistance so that it will make your job a little bit easier. It's hard to minister without music. It is very hard to minister when you don't have music. That's even it, the harder you have to minister. When you don't have music, it makes it harder for you to minister, and it also means that you have to minister harder to be able to accomplish, your job and your assignment. So anyway, here we go. 2 years ago, the Lord gave me this idea. When we started our church in Reidsville, North Carolina, we had no musician, so we ended up having to go to the music store and buy instrumental worship, praise and worship soundtracks to assist us in praise and worship, and it worked very well for us. And I want to tell you that also for those of you that don't have a musician at your church, it works. It made the atmosphere, along with the faith of the people and the praise and the worship of the people. The instrumental soundtracks also made everything just fall right, helped to make things fall in line. Okay, get that. If you don't have it at your church and you don't have a musician, please invest in your ministry. So I invested in my ministry. I called a musician who played on the CD that me and Elder Matthews recorded, a praise and worship CD we recorded a couple years ago. I called the guy and I said, "Listen, I need a preaching, an instrumental preaching music soundtrack." I invested and I paid very good money, over $100 and something for that, for him to do it professionally in the studio, and that was what he did. And I began to use it at our church, and people loved it. The very first time I used it, I'll never forget it, because nobody in the church knew besides my assistant pastor that this was just done. And so when it came on, the people came looking. They was looking around because they knew we had no musician, and they knew we had soundtracks for praise and worship. But and we got so many compliments. And I go places now, and I don't take it out. I didn't take it out with me a whole lot over the years. But however, I decided that I wanted to make it available to some of you pastors and some of you preachers, so that whenever you go out, or if you don't have a musician at your church, you will have something to enhance and to assist you and accompany you whenever what I call when you get on the mountain, you have that help right there for you. I'm going to play. Matter of fact, I'm getting ready to play the very first time in Pentecost Sunday of 2009. I'm getting ready to play that service and just let you hear exactly what it sounds like, and I'm coming right back. And I promise, I hope I'll be finished within 7 minutes.
Don't lose your hope. In the Old Testament, the only way that people could get to God was through the high priest that was set up. You had to present an animal to the high priest, and that was the way you was forgiven of your sins. But since Jesus came on the scene, we no longer have to go through the high priest, but now we can go to God for ourselves. I want to tell you today, make sure that you build an altar. Make sure you have a place that you can go to. Make sure you have a place.
Okay, that's enough of that. I think you was able to at least get a good idea of what this is going to sound like behind you. There's a 2-key change, so it's going to modulate. And if you're like me again, I like to be able to go up every now and then. I like to be able to go up at least a step or two. So there's going to be a half a step or on one, and then there's going to be a whole step on the other. So please, if this is something that you may be interested in, feel free to give me a call. The number is 336-517-4650. 336-517-4650. Or just call me for now. We are going to make it available on our Destiny Network website. In another week or so, we're going to make it available on there. But for right now, feel free to give me a call and say, listen, this is something that I think will be a blessing to me and my church. Or just if you're an evangelist that do a lot of traveling, just to be on the safe side, if you go somewhere and you don't have a musician that can go with you, or that church don't have a musician, where you have something to make your job a little bit easier. This instrumental preaching music soundtrack, I promise you, will be a blessing to you. Now, make sure you call me, 336-517-4650. $8 is not a whole lot of money. That's all I'm charging for this. $8. That includes your shipping and handling, and I will look to hear from you. God bless you.